in yoga, they say think disease and you have disease. Don't think disease and you don't have disease. And this is a really kind of tough thing to say, right? I mean, it sounds easy for a yogi to say that, but like you kind of, how could I put this? You the way they subconsciously get their narrative across, they have to make you kind of attached to the narrative. And once you're attached to the narrative, you go down with the ship. So like in your daughter's case, like it might be better that she didn't know that she got the vaccine, and I would just let her kind of not bring it up, because yeah, it kind of plants a seed that maybe this can affect me. And once you start going down that spiral, that rabbit hole, then you start attaching more to the negative than the positive. I would just, how can I say, put make a conducive environment where it's more positive than negative. You know, like these people out here, that their control method is fear. So once you're in a state of fear, it's more easier for you to do stuff that you don't want to do, right? Like if you don't get this vaccine, you can't work here. Well, I need to work, I need a job, and I need to pay bills. So it kind of tricks you into doing something that you don't want to do. But
if you're serious about awakening, it starts here. Book your call at kriyayogamasterclass.com and learn real Kriya yoga, step by step. Now back to the wisdom.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to think about, because people who have all the power can get you to do stuff that you don't want to do. But if you don't, I would say in my case, one of the most financially freeing things is I'm in a state where I don't need other people's money. So I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. Your money's no good over here. But when you're in a state when you need other people's money, then you're more easily controlled, because you do stuff that you normally wouldn't agree with. So my father always used to say, we want to get to a place where we have FU money. we don't need other people's money, you know? Like, no, your money's no good over here. And that's like one of the most liberating things. Like, I'm not doing any of that. Like, I don't know. Like, I want you to hurt a child so you could get some money. No thanks. Your money's no good over here. I'm not hurting any innocent soul. I'm not doing anything. I don't want your money. Take this job and shove it. But I mean, it takes some work, you know. Like, it sounds good on paper, but when you go to the electric company and like, yeah, I quit my job because they didn't understand me. They're like, well, no electricity for you. So it takes some work, or I don't know. It's a difficult thing to say, but I understand. Like, believe me, my 15-year-old daughter, I would like her to not get attached to the narrative, not, you know, not believe what they say on the internet. But, you know, that hypnotism, that slot machine of social media is strong. Man, it's strong, you know? So I just try to keep the best positive atmosphere and hope that my sadhana and my higher vibrations indirectly affect her and help uplift her. But yeah, it's difficult out there, you know? Like that social media slot machine, that hypnotism, that nationalist identity, man, it'll get you for sure, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard one. How do you shed doubt and worry? I don't know. How do I surrender? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm being controlled all the time. I don't know how to shed it.
Yeah, to shed it, I mean, I would say that being in the Kriya Yoga School Masterclass, you have some tools in your toolbox where it's more easier for you to shed these things. You know, I feel compassion for the people that don't have the tools to meditate, breathe, you know, overcome what having the mindset and the perception that this doesn't serve you in the present moment. So like it's definitely a war zone out there, and even in my case, I'm like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to go out there into the world in Thailand, and I'm gonna have to go buy some groceries or go buy some food. And man, I know they're out there. They're waiting for me. They're driving. There's no traffic laws in Thailand. They got a million motorcycles. They're all driving the wrong way. They're, you know, like it's a total chaos and war zone out there, and they're gonna try to get in my skin and dance around. When I go in the store, there's gonna be somebody who has a mask on, and they're gonna see me, and they're gonna tighten up their mask, the virtual signal that I'm more inferior. I'm more superior to you, and you're lower than me, and you're just a dirt bag, and I'm the cleanest, most purest individual. And you know, my girl used to say, "We're 24 hours a day yogis. We don't take advice from Sunday yogis," if you know what I'm saying. So it's the same thing as in America, right? Like people go to church on Sunday and they think they're superior. Like, oh, I went to church. I know what God is way more than you. Like, so they're always trying to project that inferior, the superiority onto you, but you can't let it get to you. You just gotta. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. You know, so just let the sea part and let them not affect you. But it
Yeah.
definitely takes some work because they're coming for sure. Even in my case, I feel my cavachum shield getting pinged all day. It's like a meteor shower. Ding 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 ding. You know, like wow, oh wow. And some days are better than other days, or some days are worse than other days, but you just got to keep going and keep your chin up and your chest out, and keep walking no matter what happens. Don't let nothing shake your inner spirituality or your inner divinity, and just keep moving as much as you can, and don't look back. Just keep moving forward. But
Yeah,
it takes some work for sure.
yeah. Yeah, you just made me think of something like I don't know, dealing with people like Christians. I don't know, they feel like I need to believe what they believe in so I'll be saved. I don't know, everybody feels like their, their religion, their beliefs more superior. But I guess it's just not, I don't know, don't let it affect me. Like,
Yeah, my football team is better than your football team. My perception of God is better than your perception of God. So I don't like the dogma version of the church or religious belief. Like let me tell you a story what God's doing now. Like who knows what God is doing? I think I posted a video the other day, and it was like, what is God thinking now? And I was like, how would I know what God's thinking? That's way beyond, that's above my pay grade, you know? A God defined is a God confined. I don't want to define God at all. The source, I have no clue what the source is doing.
yeah,
And anybody who tells you they do know what the source is doing is probably misguided also. Like, who knows, you know? I can't even comprehend or begin to understand what source energy is doing, you know, in this present moment. So, and when people like, let me tell you a story about God, like, how do you know what God is doing, you know? Like, so like my guru always used to say, we don't get attached to the stories, we do our own inner work. Like these are good stories around the campfire, but how does this story serve you in the present moment, you know? So I don't know. So like yeah, but when people try to tell me about what God is doing or what God said, I tend to try to get away from those type of people, because who knows what God, I have no clue what God's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're out there. They're definitely going to tell you. They're definitely going to project their God onto you, you know? Let me tell you what you should believe. Believe whatever resonates with you. Like I always say in our Kriya Yoga school, what is the best practice? The best practice is whatever uplifts you and makes you feel the best. That is the best practice. What is the best perception of God? Whatever makes you feel the best and uplifts you. Whatever you resonate with, that is the best perception of God. Don't let other people's God become your God, you know? So that's kind of the way I look at it. So do what resonates the best for you and works best for you, and that will probably be the best perception of God. But I mean, I even think like saying the word God is kind of ugly and crude to something that is beyond crude physical words. Something such a beautiful, spiritual, uplifting energy is kind of crude to put these physical words, these three letters on such a magical divine being, let's say it like that. I mean, in my perception, I can't say for sure, but yeah. So that's why I like when the yogis say a God defined as a God can find. I definitely don't want to put God in a box. This is the name that God goes by. This is what God is doing. This is what God said. This is God's direct email. I want
Yeah.
no part of that ego play at all. You know, I have no clue. You know, that's my best answer. So when I watched that video back the other day, I was kind of laughing. I was like, I have no clue what God's thinking or what God is doing or anything like that. So yeah, don't let other people's God become your God. Let's say it like that. Whatever God makes you feel the best and uplifts you and helps you get you through the day, that probably is the best God. So when people ask me what is the best mantra or what is the best God to pray to in yogic tradition, I say whichever one resonates the best with you, that is the best God. And I don't want to judge anybody's God. You know, whatever works best for you, that is the best God to have. So that is the best mantra to have. Whatever God makes you feel good and gives you that inner uplifting, tingling feeling, that is the best God, I would say.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if God even has any thoughts. Maybe God, it's just like a, I don't know. Why would God? I don't know. I don't even. Can't. I have nothing to verify. Why would God even? God, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. This is another God question you can't even answer. But if God wanted us to receive moksha, like liberation, why did He create? Or I don't want to say He. Why did He Maya be created? I don't know. Is that just to test us?
I mean, I can't say for sure. In my opinion, you need some kind of how would I say this? Can contract how would I
Yeah,
contrast
like a
in your life, like you if everything is bliss, you can only know bliss by not having bliss, right? So if there's no depression, you have nothing to really kind of compare it to. So you kind of need some suffering because you would take bliss for granted. So you kind of need that contrast to compare like what is good and what is so-called bad, I would say. Like without no contrast, you wouldn't know the difference. You would take for granted the happiness and bliss you have. But if you've been in a place of depression or suffering, you kind of enjoy the breath of fresh air that bliss is when it comes. Let's say it like that. So I I think, in my opinion, I can't say for sure, but I would just say you kind of need that thing to compare, that measurable thing, that gauge, so you know what is right and what is so-called wrong, I would say. But that's a tough question to
Yeah.
ask, right? Like, I mean, that is always the main question. If God is so good and he is so powerful, why is there suffering in the world? Why does children have to go through suffering and this type of thing? And this is a difficult question to ask, but I would say, in my opinion, that to know what true enlightenment is, or true bliss is, you kind of need the contrast of, all right, I've been in suffering, I've been in depression, so I know what that is. I don't want to go back to there. That's like going to jail. I want to go be a free bird, and I want to fly. I don't want to be a bird in a cage. I want to be a bird that flies and feels the sun shining on its wings, So, but yeah, this is a question that's difficult to ask,
Yeah.
answer, like, I mean, this is the part of the timeless question of God that's been asked since the beginning of time. So
Yeah. Why?
why do I need to go through all these trials and tribulation? Wouldn't it be a lot easier to just all my bills were paid and I could just sit in the cave in the Himalayan mountains and just enjoy myself, Why do I have to go through these stages, or these different levels of so-called suffering before I can ascend?
Yeah.
What resonates the most with you in today's video? Drop a comment below, share your thoughts. If you're ready to dive deeper, book a call with me at kriyayogamasterclass.com.